The Shutdown hackers did not just lock a few office files at Fairlife, they stopped the company from making drinks across the United States. On July 16, 2026, Coca-Cola disclosed that an unauthorized third party had entered part of Fairlife's computer network. The affected area included production-related systems, and Coca-Cola connected the intrusion to a ransomware event. Fairlife responded by suspending all U.S. production. The company activated its incident response and business continuity plans, brought in outside cybersecurity experts, and notified law enforcement. But the products already sitting in stores were not the problem. Coca-Cola said their quality and safety had not been affected. Canadian production also continued. The milk was safe. The systems behind it were not. As of July 26th, Coca-Cola had not announced a restart date. It had not identified the affected factories, explained how the attackers entered, or revealed how much production had been lost. The company's latest position was that it was still investigating and working to restore its systems and operations. That left Fairlife's U.S. production idle during one of the brand's biggest periods of growth. Bigger than a milk carton, Fairlife began in 2012 through dairy farmers Mike and Sue McCloskey, select milk producers, and a partnership with Coca-Cola. The brand used ultrafiltration to raise the protein content and reduce sugar and lactose compared with regular milk. Coca-Cola took full ownership in 2020 for roughly $7 billion. That price looks less surprising when you see what happened next. Coca-Cola's chief executive said Fairlife's retail value grew from about $10 million in 2014 to nearly $4 billion in the most recent full year he discussed. Other reports place current annual U.S. retail sales above $3 billion. Because the figures use different years and measurements, the safest description is a range, roughly $3 billion to $4 billion a year at retail. It had also grown beyond ordinary milk. Its lineup included core power protein shakes, nutrition plan drinks, and ultra-filtered milk in several flavors and sizes. Then, during the first quarter of 2026, Coca-Cola made a $6.1 billion contingent payment linked to its original Fairlife purchase. That payment was part of the acquisition agreement, but its size shows how valuable the business had become. Fairlife was also adding production capacity to meet North American demand. A new $650 million facility in Webster, New York, had been planned as a major expansion. Its exact operating status during the attack was not publicly confirmed, so the ransomware event did not catch a forgotten side brand. It hit one of Coca-Cola's fastest-growing non-soda businesses while that business was scaling up. From network to factory, most ransomware stories sound trapped inside a computer. Files get encrypted, employees lose access, and attackers demand money. Fairlife's case produced a physical shutdown. Coca-Cola confirmed that production-related systems were among those accessed. It did not name the software, machines, or factory controls involved. Modern food plants connect normal business technology with systems used to plan production, manage inventory, track ingredients, control quality, and prepare shipments. Industry analysts say that when part of this connected network can no longer be trusted, a company may pause production even if attackers have not taken control of equipment. That is useful background, but it is not a confirmed explanation of Fairlife's decision. Coca-Cola has not said whether the lines stopped because systems were encrypted, because key information became unavailable, or because production was paused as a safety measure during the investigation. The public plant picture is incomplete too. Fairlife was known to have major operations in Coopersville, Michigan, and Goodyear, Arizona. The Goodyear plant opened in 2021 and covers about 300,000 square feet. Public reports also named facilities connected to Fairlife in New York and New Mexico. But Coca-Cola released no plant-by-plant breakdown. Saying that U.S. production stopped does not prove that every factory network was separately compromised. What is confirmed is the result. Access to part of the network was serious enough for Fairlife to stop U.S. output. The SEC filing Coca-Cola did not hide the incident inside a quiet technical notice. It disclosed it through a Form 8K filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission. An 8K tells investors about an important event outside a company's normal reporting schedule. In this filing, Coca-Cola said the full scope, nature, and impact were still unknown. The company also said it had not determined whether the attack was reasonably likely to have a material effect. In business language, material means serious enough that investors may need to consider it when judging the company. That did not mean Coca-Cola believed the event was harmless. It meant the company did not yet have enough information to measure the final damage. There were no company figures for lost output, delayed shipments, recovery costs, or missed sales. No specific ransom amount had been disclosed. There were also no reported lawsuits, fines, or regulatory investigations connected to the incident as of the research date. Then, 4 days after Coca-Cola's disclosure, someone stepped forward to claim the attack. Anubis Appears. On July 20th, a ransomware operation calling itself Anubis added Fairlife and Coca-Cola to its dark web leak site. The listing existed. Security researchers saw screenshots of it. Everything beyond that point required caution. Anubis claimed it had entered Fairlife's network about a week before the public disclosure. It said it had stolen around 1 terabyte of confidential data and fully encrypted Fairlife's Nutanix systems. The group did not reveal a clear ransom figure. Instead, it reportedly demanded what it called a token agreement and set a deadline for the morning of July 27th. If Coca-Cola did not negotiate, Anubis threatened to publish the information it claimed to possess. None of those major claims had been independently confirmed. Bleeping Computer, which communicated directly with the group, said it could not verify verify the claimed data theft, the 1 terabyte figure, or the extent of the encryption. Coca-Cola had not named Anubis as the attacker. It had not confirmed that Nutanix systems were involved, and it had not said whether any data left its network. A leak site post proves that a threat was published. It does not prove that every sentence in the thread is true. So there were two versions of the incident. Coca-Cola confirmed ransomware, accessed production systems, and a U.S. production halt. Anubis added the claims about attribution, stolen data, Nutanix encryption, and an approaching leak deadline. The first version came from the company. The second came from the people demanding a deal. Who is Anubis? Anubis was not a random name invented for this one attack. Security researchers had tracked the operation since late 2024 and linked its code to an earlier malware project called Sphinx. Researchers describe Anubis as ransomware as a service. The main operation supplies malware, a leak site, and negotiation support, while outside partners can carry out attacks and share the proceeds. Its most unusual feature is an optional wiping mode. Normal ransomware encrypts files and offers a key in exchange for payment. Anubis can also erase file contents, leaving empty files that a decryption key cannot restore. That threat gives victims another reason to act quickly. Researchers have also documented Anubis campaigns beginning with targeted phishing messages made to look as if they came from trusted senders. But none of this reveals how Fairlife was breached. There is no confirmed evidence that phishing, a stolen password, a software weakness, the wiping feature, or any other known Anubis method was used against Fairlife. The group's history explains what it may be capable of. It does not prove what happened inside Coca-Cola's network. Even the attacker's identity remained a claim. The shelf question. Stopping production creates an obvious fear. Empty refrigerator shelves. As of July 26th, that had not been proven nationwide. Retailers could continue selling products that had already left Fairlife's factories before the shutdown. Trade publications warned that ultra-filtered milk, core power, and nutrition plan products could become harder to find if the outage continued. That was a projection, not a confirmed national shortage. Fairlife also had supply complaints before the ransomware incident. Strong demand had already made some flavors and sizes difficult to find during 2025 and early 2026. Those older shortages cannot be blamed on the hackers. No verified statement from Walmart, Kroger, Costco, Target, or another major national retailer connected new shortages to the July attack. Coca-Cola had not announced product allocations, back orders, or shipment delays. Canada continued producing Fairlife products, but Coca-Cola did not say Canadian output would replace missing U.S. production or supply American stores. For shoppers, the honest answer was still wait and see. The production halt was real. A nationwide shelf crisis was not. To deadline. The financial damage was just as uncertain. One market report said Coca-Cola shares fell roughly 4% during the trading period after the disclosure, although stock moves can reflect more than one piece of news. Analysts had expected second quarter revenue of about $13.3 billion and earnings of 93 cents per share before Coca-Cola revealed any attack-related cost. Those were analyst estimates, not company guidance. Coca-Cola had provided no figure for the ransomware event itself. Every extra day offline could add lost production, delayed sales, restoration work, and pressure from retailers. But no public source had turned those possible costs into a verified total. The story was now moving toward two dates. Anubis's reported leak deadline was the morning of July 27. Coca-Cola's second quarter earnings release was scheduled for July 28th before the stock market opened, followed by an investor call. The first date could test whether the attackers had anything real to publish. The second could force Coca-Cola to address the restart, the cost, and whether the incident had become material. Until either side produced new evidence, the biggest confirmed fact remained the strangest one. A cyber attack had reached far enough into a milk business to stop Fairlife's entire U.S. production operation.